Hello, artists. Welcome to part 2 of Vincent van Gogh and his sunflowers. Today we're going to begin with this fun cartoon.
Hey! What are you gonna paint, Maddie?
That, Dada.
Huh? You're gonna paint the flowers? The tree? The fence! Yes, the fence could use painting. It's peeling.
Very funny, Dada. I'm painting the garden. The whole garden. All the beautiful flowers, the fence, the trees, the sky, everything. It's going to be big and fantastic. Oh!
Yay! Getting wet.
Oh.
I know what you can paint indoors. Flowers!
But, Dada, I wanted to paint something big and exciting. Not just flowers.
I just saw a painting of some flowers in a book. They were by a great artist. Let me show
Okay,
you.
sure. Show me.
Wow! Great! Let's go!
Dada, I meant show me in the book.
Oh.
Where are we, Dada?
I'm not completely sure. I'll get you an umbrella. Yee-hee!
Great. Now, who are we looking for?
Well, yes. The painting in the book was by, I'm not sure, Vincent. Someone named Vincent.
Vincent van Gogh? The great, great artist?
Oh, that could be his name.
I don't see him anywhere. Everyone's gone inside from the rain. Where do you think he is?
He was supposed to be right where we landed. Somewhere.
Hey, Dada, a paintbrush. Now where? Another paintbrush. It's bigger. Look, a small paintbrush. Oh,
All my paintbrush is gone? Huh?
excuse me, but are these yours?
Ah, thank you. I thought I lost them. I cannot afford to buy more. I'd like to give you a reward, but I have no money. Would you like some bread and cheese?
Thank you, Mr. Van Gogh.
Call me Vincent. I'm so glad you found them. What a relief.
Oh, what a beautiful painting.
I call it Terrace of a Cafe at night.
It's night, yeah, but the colors are so bright.
The excitement I feel painting. I want the person looking at the painting to also feel.
I think I can feel it too. When I look at it really closely, it's like I'm there, really standing in the street.
Garçon, un espresso for you, s'il vous plaît.
It feels like we're in the painting.
I wanted the colors to be vibrant, even though it was night. See? The yellow, the blue, the green.
And all the different brushstrokes everywhere. Thick and big in the sky and small down on the cobblestone in front.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Ooh, terrific!
It's called the olive trees.
Wow, it's super nice. It looks like everything is moving in it.
Ooh, it excites the eyes. Everything moving.
And the clouds are like when the wind blows. The wind also blows the trees, like when I was painting it.
Vincent, your paintings feel so real and alive.
No matter what I'm painting, if it's a farmer's field, a portrait, a bowl of fruit, or a church, I want everything to feel alive. But not that alive.
did it go?
The door!
Hey! Turn on the lights! I can't see! I can't see! I get... Oh! That was fantastic fun!
So what will you paint next, Vincent?
I was going to paint a wheat field, but it started raining. So I was going to paint those. Sunflowers are wonderful to paint, even when it's not raining.
Yes, of course. Your sunflower paintings. They're famous.
Really?
Yeah, sunflowers. Wow, I want to paint some too.
I can get you sunflowers.
Thank you, Vincent. I love your paintings. That was fun. Vincent van Gogh is such a great painter. It's amazing.
Hey, Maddie, it stopped raining. You can paint outside now.
I want to do a painting inside first. Vincent would like that. And Dada, look, I'm finished.
You did it, Maddie! Exciting and special! We can go outside now. I see trees blowing in the wind. Wouldn't it be more exciting to go paint something outside?
Yeah, as soon as I finish another painting.
I hope you enjoyed that cartoon. So I am 100% confident that you can learn to blend colors just like Vincent van Gogh. Look for all the different blues in the sky of the starry night. And do you notice the flecks of warm colors that you see swirling around, reflected from the stars and the moon? Look closely at the way every color you see is really made of more than just one color. Notice in the trees there are many variations of green, many variations of blue right here. Did you see these paintings in the video? So now it's time for you to blend colors and color in your sunflower masterpiece. Okay, artists, so hopefully you were able to be patient and not color your sunflower picture yet, because I'd like to show you how to blend colors like an artist. So I'm going to set this off to the side. All right, and I have the sheet of paper right here. So if you have crayons, I'd like you to pull those out now. Now, some of you might have a pack where you have lots of different variations of the same color. So these colors are from yellow. These are shades of yellow, or variations of yellow. Right here, this is a pile that has variations of green. And this one is variations of brown, and then I threw in these two that don't quite go, but I like them together. Okay, now maybe you have a pack of crayon that only has the basic colors, green, yellow, red, blue, purple, orange. If that's the case, you can use a variety of materials together to get kind of a blended effect. So I'm going to show you what all of those look like right here before we get started. Okay, so the petals of our sunflowers are yellow, right? So I'm going to start with the crayon first to show you how I'd like you to blend the crayons if you have those. So first, you would take whatever yellow you like, and then you're going to need one more yellow. So I'm going to color neatly. I'm going to press kind of firm so I get a vibrant color. It's not showing up too good on here. Let's see, I'll make it a little darker. Okay. And then I'm going to pick a yellow that is similar but different. See, this one is a little bit darker. So I'm going to color on top with the darker one. I'm going to blend right over the first one. I'm only going to do half so I can hold it up to the camera and you can see the difference. This is where I use just one yellow. This one right here. And right here, I blended another color similar on top. And it has a much more vibrant color to it. So I want you to do that in each space. Let's see. Notice I kind of start with the lighter color and then blend the darker one on top. So here I'm going to try green. This is more of a yellow-green. And I'm going to blend this darker one on top. You see the difference of how more vibrant it is? Okay. Now, if you're like, Miss Spooner, I don't have a bunch of different greens and a bunch of different yellows. You can overlap. Let's say you have marker. This is marker right here. I used a yellow marker, and I'm going to take a yellow crayon, and I'm going to blend on top of that. And I get a similar effect. Or maybe you have crayons and watercolor. You could watercolor first and blend with another yellow on top. Or you could use the crayon first and then watercolor over that. And it would fill in all of the white spaces that you didn't fill in with your crayon. So I would like you to try doing that. And if all you have is markers or colored pencils, you could use crayon on top of marker. You could use a colored pencil. So just because you don't have a variety of one material doesn't mean you can't mix and match, okay? So I'm going to show you what I mean on the actual work of art in just a moment. Okay, so now I have, as you can see, a bunch of different supplies around me, but you don't need all of these things. You are going to use whatever you have on hand, okay? And you can experiment as much as you like as well. Okay, so I have used watercolor for these just so I can show you some overlapping. This is already dried. You have to wait until the painted area is completely dry, otherwise it will start to tear your paper. Okay. I'm going to start with the center of the sunflower and show you how to color those. So remember we made these dots around the inside. So after observing the center of the sunflowers, I noticed that there were sort of rings of color in there. Now, you don't have to make your sunflowers look like mine, and they don't necessarily have to be realistic. But I would like you to at least choose colors that remind you of how flowers would be in nature. So anytime you color, I want you to take your time. You took your time drawing it. It's a beautiful masterpiece. I saw many of your flip grids already, of your drawings. I'm so impressed. So keep up the same quality of amazing work and take your time when you color. All right. I used a lime green there, and I'm going to blend back over with another variation of green. So when I say shade, I don't really mean shade, because shade is when you make something darker. Hue is color, so a different hue of green. So I am simply coloring neatly over top, and it gives it a more vibrant, painterly look, like how Van Gogh blended his colors. Let's see, I'm going to do going to take this golden color, and I think I'm going to color the center with this. Now, sometimes you may want to turn your paper as you color. I like to do that. Usually when you're coloring something, you want to go with the shape that it is. So when I'm coloring the petals, I'll go long with the petals. And when I'm coloring the vase, I'll go with the shape of the vase or with the curve of it. The stems, I'll follow the stems. I wouldn't just do that, right? It helps to make it look more natural if you go with the actual shape. So I'm going to take another, you know what, I'm going to go with a brown actually. And I'm going to blend that over. So I'm going to make my way around, and then I need to choose one more color. Let's see what this looks like. Feel free to experiment. Ooh, that has a really cool effect. I like that. I might even go back over this one a little bit with that. I like it so much. I'll show you closer in just a second. That's fun. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like to color over the watercolor. So I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to blend over that. Actually, I'm not really blending. I'm coloring on top, right? Do you see the difference in this petal? How rich the color is? Okay, I'm going to stop the video right here as I work my way around this sunflower. And I'm going to color a few more, and then I'll come back and talk about how I continued. Oop, I forgot this petal, so I'm just going to color it with this one. So when I come back, I'll show you how I continued to use the technique of finding at least two hues of a color. So 2 yellows, 2 greens, whether it's a mixture of materials to create this very rich effect. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back to show you that I have continued to color the centers of some of my sunflowers. I'm sticking to browns, greens, sort of a deep purple burgundy mixed with the browns for the centers. Now, I'm going to start to talk about the stems and the leaves. So they are pretty much the same. I'd like you to color them in a similar way. I just want to talk about how when we were doing our drawing, it got kind of confusing, right? First we drew our flowers, and then we had to find where the stems were behind them. So as you're starting to color them, make sure that you start where the center of the flower is and follow down to make sure that your stem makes sense, that it goes all the way down into the vase. So I'm going to find this flower right here. I'm going to find my stem and make sure that it travels all the way into the vase, like this one. And then just as we did with coloring all of the other areas, you're going to find a similar color and blend on top of that one. When you're finished with the stems, you can move on to the leaves. Remember, you can use a combination of whatever materials you have on hand. So if you only have one type of green crayon, you can start with a marker or watercolor or color pencil. Just use whatever you have and feel free to experiment. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video and I'll come back when I have a little bit more done. All right, and here we have the finished product. So I want you to look a little bit closer. And you can see where I blended more than one color. So as I was doing it, I know I said to start out with at least 2 different similar colors, 2 yellows, 2 greens, but I found that in some places it was nice to use 3 colors that were similar or 4 colors that were similar. So I want you to play around with that, experiment with blending the colors. Take a look at this sunflower. Remember in the video, as the sunflowers start to wither and the petals start to fall off, you're still left with the green leaf. So this one is an older sunflower where all the petals have fallen off. One final point I'd like to make. So as you can see here, when you color in a coloring book, you usually use only one color per space, right? So your drawings end up looking something kind of like this. Look at the difference between this sunflower, where I used one type of green in each spot there, and one yellow right here. Look at the difference between this one and this one. Pretty incredible, right? So I hope you have fun experimenting with blending the colors like a true artist, which you all are. So whether you have crayons or other materials that you want to mix and match together, that's completely up to you. Have fun and experiment. All right, take care. I can't wait to see your work. Bye. Okay, so you are going to show me how you blended the colors by creating a flip.